Chasing Tales, Episode 21, Nudge.
Welcome back to Chasing Tales. When last we left, the angels were facing the music. Will Sin and Otto survive the hells?
Pink and Kevin sat talking and smoking in her apartment. Boxes sit around unopened.
So what happened after your meeting with Sprex?
I hung around the water out of sight, thinking about what he'd offered. They were so close to the pod, we were all on high alert now. I was afraid my interference would cost them. His offer was tempting, but I had no guarantees.
You did the right thing refusing him. Did the other ship ever come?
Yes, in a few days the other ship did arrive. She was a huge ship, bigger than the Potent Word even. Her green and red paint and bright figurehead of a stone lion shone in the sun.
Captain Brandish stood at the wheel, the salty air assaulting his sun-browned face. His beard neatly cut into a lifted-up point. His ship curved into boarding position. On Sprex's ship, 100 children, including Quick Nick, were hustled out into the sun. The boards were drawn. Sprex sauntered to the gangplank and shouted over the waves. "You got the money, Brandish!" Brandish waved his hand and a chest was brought out onto deck. 6 lifted it and made a face. The kids screamed as they were hustled across.
Cap, this isn't the old cost.
How much is missing?
500 or so.
Sprex kicked the board away, dumping half the children into the drink. In a desperate cry, Pink cast Bubble and swerved it around to catch all the kids. The cannon doors opened on Sprex's ship. The volley of cannons came so fast they must have been lit already. Pink floated the kids out of the gunfire. She called out to the mermaids. Soon, the pod of mermaids poked their heads out of the water.
Get them to safety.
Pink rose on Waterspout to get a good view. She watched Sprex as he began to draw power to himself. She figured out the goal of the magic and his target, and cast a bubble around Brandish. The magic cut through her like butter, and shattered Brandish's soul to pieces. She watched them each disappear as his body slumped on the ground. Sprex waved his hand and the sails opened. 6 jumped to the wheel to turn them, full speed, out of the harbor. The Sea King never stood a chance. It gurgled as it sunk, dragging struggling sailors and children to their doom.
How could he do that? That's so awful. How many kids did you save?
Maybe 25 or 30. I wish I could have saved them all. That's when I realized how weak my magic was.
Well, if you hadn't have been there, all of them would have died.
That's true, I guess. It's just hard to look at it that way. I mean, what's the point of power if you can't make it do the things you want?
You did, within your ability at the time. Did you ever see him again?
We actually ran into each other a lot more after this. It seemed like he was following me sometimes. But that's a story for another time. Want another drink?
Sure.
Pink poured them more to drink. Kevin looked around at the boxes.
What are all these boxes?
They're Texas things. I haven't had the heart to open them.
I'll help you. And you know, if you need to talk, it's okay.
Okay, maybe we'll just open one.
She pulled the box to her and opened it with Kevin's pocket knife. She stared at the contents, trying to decide where to start. The lump in her throat and the pressure of the swelling tears made her silent. Seeing her discomfort, Kevin spoke again.
Hey, what about the angels? Have you heard from Aislinn?
No, Haven's on lockdown at the moment, nothing in or out.
What does that mean? How can that happen?
Remember when I passed out and you asked me if I had a power surge?
Yeah.
You were right. Aislinn and the boys went to rescue the angel. But something must have come back with them, or they wouldn't be on lockdown.
So what's going to happen to them? Are they going to get punished?
It's likely, but hopefully they'll be lenient.
In the hells, Sin and Otto blink against the darkness. Otto changes his clothes to a long black tunic and leather apron. He puts his tool bag on the ground.
Well, what now?
Well, we registered. Then we find our home.
Otto snorts indifferently. He catches a glimpse of one of Turn's lackeys skulking about. Otto picks up his bag and grabs Sin by the arm.
Let's hurry then, my friend.
Will and Sarah sit on the porch at the Partry house. They sway back and forth in the porch swing.
What do you want to do if we get married, Sarah?
You know, stay home, cook, clean, have babies, be loved, the usual.
Won't you miss the road and all the shows?
Not really. It's tiring. I don't have much time left if I'm gonna settle down properly.
Can we afford it?
Well, the wedding needn't be a large expense. I also have quite a lot socked away. Maybe we can buy a house in a small town and you can teach music or something.
Will thought a lot about it. He was silent for some time. Sarah drank from her lemonade glass. It was so nice for late January. It's like their love made spring come early. She sighed wistfully as Eric's beat-up red truck stopped in front of the house.
Well, come help me out here.
What's up, man?
I brought a peace offering.
He hustled 2 brand new Schwinn bicycles out of the back of the truck.
I thought it was something you could do together.
Eric looked down at his feet.
Hey, we're square, man. Just having some fun. Are you sure you want to give us these?
Sarah bopped up behind him to look at the bikes.
They're so nice. Eric, is this your apology? Honey, you don't want to turn down a perfectly good apology, do you?
No, I guess not. Thanks, man.
Will clapped hands with Eric. Without another word, Eric got in his truck and left. Will stood and checked the bikes out to make sure that he hadn't pulled a fast one, and once satisfied, he threw a leg over and beckoned Sarah to join him. They rode down the block and passed a man watering his flowers, the same man that Paul had touched. The meanness towards them had grown into violent thoughts. He mumbled to himself as they rode by. It was a quiet Sunday afternoon, so they rode freely in the street. They turned down a short street, and at the end of the one-way, a huge blue car revved at them threateningly.
Sarah, get back in the house. I'll deal with this.
I can't leave you here.
Go! I'm right behind you.
Sarah turned her bike around and took off, trying not to look back. Will stood in the street, his bike to one side.
Hey, if you got a problem with me, let's settle it man to man.
Will rolled up his sleeves, getting ready for a fight. The engine shook itself to a stop, and the man got out. He ripped his shirt off and ran at Will. He covered the 100 feet in no time, and Will ducked down and uppercut him as he dodged away. The man went down, but with a crack of his jaw, he was on him again. Will jerked his head to the side. The wind of the punch energized him, and he punched the guy in the guts. The stranger doubled over, and Will tried to put some distance between them to get ready for another. The man came at him again, lunging at him. They went down, and Will tried to scramble away. The man punched him hard in the face 2 or 3 times. Soon, Will lays unconscious. The sirens rose through the air, getting louder as they came. The man got in his blue car and roared away.
What will happen to Will? How will Sin and Otto fare in the Hells? Stay tuned for the next episode of Chasing Tales. Episode 22, The Peace After the Storm.